Welcome back to my What If I Rewrote the Kingdom Hearts series, where I changed some stuff on the Kingdom Hearts series if I were to rewrote this series myself. The last part was on the Destiny Islands with a little bit of Disney Castle in it, but if you haven't watched it, click on the link in the description below before you watch part 2. When you are done, come back here and watch part 2. I'll give you a minute to go there. Okay, now that you're back, I would like to say something before we begin. I noticed that only 95.1% of you who watch on my channel are not subscribed, so I would be very happy if all of you subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on with the video. We begin this part of the story where Donald, Goofy, Jiminy, and Pluto arrive at Traverse Town in hopes of finding the Keyblade wielder who will wield the Kingdom Key in order to save all of the worlds from darkness. They decide to ask around the residents of this small town if they know anything. Pluto apparently snips towards an alley in the town, and Goofy suggests to follow Pluto, but Donald dismisses the idea with,
What do you know, you big Toyota?
So Goofy calls out to Pluto and goes to find the Keyblade wielder with the Kingdom Key. Pluto obviously didn't hear Goofy's call, so he continues on through the alley, where he finds an unconscious Sora laying on the wall. So Pluto licks the 14-year-old boy until he regains consciousness and mumbling about how weird his dream was.
This isn't a dream.
Once Sora comes to fully realizing that everything he had experienced on the island wasn't a dream, he looks around Traverse Town, unfamiliar with this place, but hinting he must be in another world that isn't the Destiny Islands. He then gets concerned about his friends, Riku and Kairi, missing, so he decides to look for them while Pluto follows him, instead of just running off to God knows where and not appearing ever again until the post-credit comes. Sora decides to check out a building with a sign that says Accessories Shop, so he went inside, where he sees Waka angrily asking an old man at the counter where Selphie and Tidus are at, which makes the old man a bit annoyed by this kid's attitude. Sora goes off to Waka, which made Waka surprised that Sora is okay, and asks him what he's doing here all of a sudden. Waka explains to Sora that when he, Selphie, and Tidus rolled back to the mainland, the big black hole suddenly sucked them up into it, and they got separated when they are inside of it. Waka manages to wake up by himself and tries to ask mostly everyone in this town where Selphie and Tidus are at, but no one knows, and now he's at an accessory store trying to get this old man to know where his friends are. The old man tells Waka he is not that old and that he is only 45 years old, and to address himself as Sid. Sora apologizes to Sid for Waka's behavior. Usually he's a pretty chill guy. Sid accepts this apology and then says that he has never seen him or Waka before. Sora tells Sid that they are both from the Destiny Islands. Sid has never heard of Destiny Islands, which Sora has guessed that he and his friends are in another world after all. Waka is confused by this on what Sora is talking about. Sora tells Waka that he, Riku, and Kairi wanted to go to Kairi's childhood home before coming to the Destiny Islands 9 years ago on a raft. But those shadowy creatures appeared on the island and attacked them before Waka, Selphie, and Tidus showed up and started fighting them. Then the giant key sword thing appeared out of nowhere, and now they are here. Sid got a little interested on the key sword thing that Sora mentioned, but doesn't say anything. Waka is still a little bit surprised that Sora can summon something as weird as a giant key, but at least he can defend himself. But right now he needs to find Selphie and Tidus so they can get out of here and go back home. Sora doesn't say anything about the Destiny Islands because somehow he knows that it's completely gone now, with everyone, including Sora's parents, in it as well. And it's just him, Riku, Kairi, Waka, Selphie, and Tidus as the survivors. But he agrees on Waka, worried about Riku and Kairi as well. Sid suggests that the boys should go over to District 2 of Traverse Town to see if any of their friends are there. Sora thanks Sid for the advice, and the two boys leave the accessories shop. But before leaving, Waka asks Sora why a dog is following him, referring to Pluto. Sora tells him that he doesn't know. The dog is the first thing he saw when he woke up, and that he started following him around. Once the two boys and the dog leave the accessory shop, Sid picks up a phone and dials a number. Then he talks to someone on the other side of the phone, saying that the Kingdom Key has found its chosen wielder. The two boys and Pluto enter District 2 of Traverse Town, where they see Tidus being cornered by the shadowy creatures that were on the island. So they rushed over to Tidus and fight the shadowy creatures. Once they are defeated, Waka asks Tidus if he is okay, which Tidus replies he is alright, but he is a little shaken a bit. When Tidus came to this weird place, he decides that he should look for Waka and Selphie. As he was doing that, he sees a man running and then collapsing on the ground, and suddenly a bright light came out of his chest where his heart is usually at. And once the light is out of that man's chest, the man suddenly disappeared into thin light, and the light that came out of the man's chest was transformed into some soldier creature, and then it disappeared into darkness. Sora and Waka are shocked from what Tidus had said. They never heard of a light inside of their bodies in their biology class. Despite that, Waka is just glad Tidus is okay, but they need to find Selphie in this town. Sora also comments that he needs to find Riku and Kairi too. So the three boys and Pluto go around District 2 to find Selphie, Riku, and Kairi. As the boys are going around District 2, they heard a frightful shriek from the other side. They all rushed over there, where they find Selphie being cornered by those soldier creatures that Tidus had mentioned in tears, and her robe is broken in half. Sora summons his key weapon and defeats those soldier creatures. Waka and Tidus run up to Selphie, asking her if she is okay. Selphie says she is not okay because those creatures destroyed her robe. The two boys try to comfort their female friend, but Selphie sees Pluto by Sora's side and immediately gets excited about it and rushes over to him and begins petting the yellow dog, and Pluto licks her on the face. Waka and Tidus look at each other with confused faces, never understanding how women act whatsoever. Sora laughs a bit, glad to see Selphie is alright, but he still needs to find Riku and Kairi in this town. As the group thinks of where they should look next, the shadowy creatures appeared from the ground. Sora defeats them with his key sword thing, but more and more keep appearing from the ground, and Sora feels a little exhausted, so the four teams of the Fallen Destiny Islands and Pluto escape from them and rush back to District 1. When the group entered District 1 of Traverse Town, more shadowy creatures keep appearing from the ground and start attacking them. But Sora keeps hitting them with his key weapon, but he's getting more tired from fighting them. As the four teams of the Fallen Destiny Islands and Pluto run from these shadowy creatures, Sora spots four figures down near the cafe, he instantly recognizes one of them. It was Riku! Riku was down there protecting 3 duck kids wearing 3 different colored shirts and hats, red, green, and blue, from those soldier creatures he, Waka, Selfie, and Tias just saw. Sora rushes over to Riku, in which Riku is glad Sora is alright, and fights off the soldier creatures. Once Sora defeats the soldier creatures, Waka, Selfie, Titas, and Pluto cut off to Sora, and the shadowy creatures follow them where those creatures cornered them. So Sora, alongside Waka and Titas, fight back, while Selfie runs behind Riku so she can be protected since her rope is broken. Once the shadowy creatures are defeated, the gang looks around to see if more would show up. Luckily for them, they didn't appear from the ground. Riku turns to face the 3 duck children and tells them they should go find whatever parent or guardian is taking care of them so they don't go near those creatures again. The 3 duck children thanked Riku, and one of them says they should meet up with their Uncle Scrooge, so the duck children said goodbye to Riku and scurried up to a different direction of Traverse Town. Sora, looking extremely tired from fighting those creatures, talks to Riku, saying he is glad that he is alright. Riku tells Sora he could say the same thing, and then explains that while he was fighting off those shadowy creatures on the island, something dark was pulling him in. He tried to get out of it, but it pulled him down, and when he woke up, he was in some area called District 3 in a town called Traverse Town. So he ran around trying to find Sora and Kairi in this world that isn't the Destiny Islands. That's when he encountered the 3 duck children, where Riku assumes these kids are triplets, being attacked by those soldier creatures. So Riku decides to protect them, even if he doesn't have a weapon on him. That's when Sora showed up and defeats them. Sora is glad he protected his best friend, but is also glad Riku is okay. Finally, all the survivors of the fallen Destiny Islands are here. However, Sora realizes that one person is still not here.
Wait a second, where's Kairi?
Isn't she with you?
Knowing that Sora is concerned about Kairi, Riku reassures him that Kairi will be fine, and that she can handle herself. Since they did teach her how to use their wooden sword when they were kids when she first arrived on the Destiny Islands, Sora understands that, but he is still worried about her very much. Riku tells Sora that if they can get out of Traverse Town, they can go look for Kairi. Suddenly, a voice claims that they won't be looking for their friend if they will come looking for Sora, and that voice doesn't belong to either Waka or Titas. The group turns to see a man with long brown hair, wearing edgy clothes, and is carrying some weapon that looks like a combination of a sword and a gun. The man continues on that they will keep on attacking them as long as Sora has that Keyblade, and then wonders why would it choose a child like him. The survivors of the fallen Destiny Islands are confused on what this man is talking about. Who is this they? And what is a Keyblade? Is he referring to that key weapon that Sora is wielding? The man tells Sora to hand him the key weapon he is wielding, but Sora refuses to give this key weapon to him, as it is the only weapon he has to defeat those creatures. So the man has no choice but to take it by force in a fight. So Sora fights this mysterious man. Whether you win or lose against him, Sora will still pass out for all that exhaustion of the fighting. Riku, Waka, Selfie, and Titas run up to a passed out Sora, worried about him. The man tells them not to worry about their friend, but he does tell them to come with him, or else those creatures will come back and attack them. Reluctant about this, they have no choice but to go with this man. Meanwhile, Donald, Goofy, and Jimmy are still going around Traverse Town trying to find the Keyblade wielder wielding the Kingdom Key, but to no such luck, nor have they found anyone who resides in Traverse Town, as if it was some kind of a ghost town. Donald claims he is not scared of anything. That is until someone tapped in on the shoulder that scared the crap out of him. It turns out to be a woman with long dark brown hair wearing a white tank top, a darkish brown skirt, black knee socks, red boots, and gloves. She apologizes to the mage duck about that, and asks if King Mickey sent them here to look for the Keyblade wielder that wields the Kingdom Key. Donald says he and Goofy are, and how this woman knows about it. She claims that her friend, Squall, received a letter from the king, explaining to him that two of his closest friends will be arriving in Traverse Town to look for this Keyblade wielder who will wield the Kingdom Key, and introduces herself as Tifa Lockhart. You're probably wondering why Tifa is there during the scene where Aerith meets Donald and Goofy in canon. If any of you play Final Fantasy VII, you all know that Sephiroth killed Aerith by stabbing her from the back with his sword when he jumped from the ceiling, and well, in my rewrite for Kingdom Hearts, I would say that when Heartless attacked Radiant Garden, which is basically the Final Fantasy character's homeworld in the Kingdom Hearts universe, I would like to say that Aerith lost her heart from them, but her body doesn't disappear after losing her heart. What I'm saying is that if a person loses a heart that is somewhere between light or darkness, their bodies can either disappear or their bodies are in a comatose state. Hearts that are pure light stay comatose and not disappear. So Aerith's heart is basically somewhere out there in any world where her body is in a comatose state. But don't worry, I have plans for Aerith, along with another Final Fantasy character that everybody has been begging Square Enix to add in the Kingdom Hearts series. Plus, I didn't like the fact that Tifa is the light of Cloud and Sephiroth is the darkness of Cloud. Tifa should be her own person, and so should Sephiroth, even though I never played any of the Final Fantasy games. When I first saw Wakka, Selphie, Tidus, Leon, Yuffie, Aerith, and Cloud when I first played Kingdom Hearts, I thought they were original Kingdom Hearts characters like Sora, Riku, Kairi, and Ansem, so I had no idea what Final Fantasy was at the time. But enough about that, let's go back to the what if. The next scene is where Sora wakes up in a room and he doesn't know how he got there all of a sudden. He then notices someone standing by his bedside, and it is actually Kairi, looking very worried and asking Sora if he is okay, which Sora replies that he is fine. Kairi then tells Sora how those creatures are always attacking him and his friends because they are after their hearts, but most importantly attacking Sora because he wields the Kingdom Key, because it has chosen him as his wielder to save the worlds from darkness. Sora has no idea what Kairi is talking about, but he ignores it and tells Kairi that he is glad she is okay. But once he calls out her name, Kairi gets utterly confused as she doesn't know anyone named Kairi, and that her name is Rinoa Hartley. Sora is confused on why Kairi has said that, until Kairi disappears in a flash of light and is replaced with a woman with raven hair that goes past her shoulders, wearing a black tank top with long sleeveless light blue coat on her, long white blue wristbands, blue and black shorts, and black boots standing in front of him. Standing next to her is another woman with short raven hair and is dressed up like some kind of ninja, who tells the man who attacked him, standing by the door, calling him Squall, that he must have overdone it. Also in this room are Riku, Wakka, Selphie, Tidus, and Pluto, because Pluto keeps following Sora. Riku goes by Sora's side and asks if he is okay after passing on from his fight from Squall. Sora replies that he is fine, better than he was when he was all tired from fighting those creatures. Riku is glad to know Sora is okay, but is also concerned about why Sora called Rinoa Kairi all of a sudden. Sora tells Riku that he saw Kairi when he woke up, but disappeared into light with this woman in front of him. But Riku tells Sora that Kairi isn't here at all, which confuses Sora a bit. Aside from that, Sora faces away from Riku and looks at his key weapon, which is leaning on the wall right next to this Squall guy. The woman dressed as a ninja explains to Sora that she, Squall, and Rinoa had to keep the Keyblade away from him as it has chosen it as a wielder. Squall still can't believe that the legendary Kingdom Key has chosen a kid to wield it. He then picks it up and sends the Kingdom Key to its true wielder, but it goes to Sora's hand immediately.
Well, I suppose beggars can't be choosers.
Sora is confused by all of this and asks what is going on here and who these people are. Riku explains to Sora the names of the people that took the remaining survivors of the fallen Destiny Islands and are Squall Reinhardt, which Sora finds that the first name is kinda dumb, Yuffie Kisaragi, and Renona Hartilli, but even he doesn't know about everything that has been going on himself. So Squall, Yuffie, and Renona begin to explain everything to the remaining survivors of the fallen Destiny Islands. And on the other side of the room, Tifa is also explaining the same thing to Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy, explaining them on how all the worlds are kept secret until someone had discovered them and plunges some of the worlds into darkness. They also explain about the creatures that attack the remaining survivors of the fallen Destiny Islands are called the Heartless, and that they are dark creatures from the realm of darkness that don't have hearts. So they attack people and steal their hearts, and once their hearts are consumed, their bodies disappear, and they are also turned into Heartless as well. They also told them about Reynard, the missing king of the Final Fantasy character's homeworld in the Kingdom Hearts universe, Radiant Garden. If you want a brief recap, I changed Ansem the Wise's name to Reynard so that people won't be so confused on the whole Ansem thing, because they know it's Heartless, it's named Ansem the Seeker of Darkness, and that he stole Ansem the Wise's name, so in this rewrite, Ansem the Wise is Reynard and Ansem the Seeker of Darkness is Ansem, who has been researching on the hearts, but also on Keyblades for years, especially on this world that has fallen into darkness for many years, had many Keyblade wielders in it. It even has a king and queen that are also Keyblade wielders, and that they once had a daughter too. As they explain about how Reynard reached the world that fell into darkness many years ago, Sora felt a pang in his heart about it, but he doesn't know why that is. And finally, they explain about how the Kingdom King was once wielded by a legendary Keyblade wielder who once stopped his evil brother, who once wielded a Keyblade that looked similar to the Kingdom King, but it was made out of darkness, to grant a wish from Kingdom Hearts to have all the worlds to fall into darkness. And before he died, the legendary Keyblade wielder proclaimed that he will be reincarnated once more as a different person with no memories of his past life, and that the Kingdom Key will choose this reincarnated wielder to save all the worlds from darkness again. And as Yuffie says it in the original, the Kingdom Key chose Sora, in which Squall explains that Sid called him and told him that the Kingdom Key chose Sora, which is how Squall found Sora and his friends in the first place. Once the explaining is done, everybody now knows everything that is going on now, which leads to Waka, Selphie, and Tia's panicking on what happened to the Destiny Islands and their home when those heartless creatures attacked there, and if their parents are okay and safe. Sora, who has been quiet about their home for a while, finally tells them that he believes that the Destiny Islands may have fallen into darkness as well, and that they, along with Kairi, wherever she is, are the only survivors left that escaped. This clearly upsets the teens of the fallen Destiny Islands, knowing that they can never return home ever again. Pluto, knowing he is a dog and can sense sadness from humans, goes up to Sora and rubs his leg with his head, and Sora just pets Pluto on the head a bit. Squall tells the teens of the fallen Destiny Islands that it is what it is, and that they have to accept their new life now. As they stay silent for a while, a soldier Heartless appears out of nowhere and goes to attack Sora, but Squall uses his sword gun weapon to defeat it. Then he goes over to the window and sees more Heartless appearing from the ground, knowing that they are going after Sora. Waka and Tidus decided to hold back the Heartless as Sora escapes, but they know he can hound them if he has that Keyblade weapon. Yuffie tells the boys that she will be joining them in holding back the Heartless as well, which the boys think, and the three of them head out the door where Squall was standing at. Renona tells Sylvie to come with her to escape from here by using the other door to the next room, which Sylvie agrees and escapes there. Which when Renona opens the door, it squashes Donald there as he was about to open the door. Tifa is surprised and concerned about this when she sees Renona running with a girl beside her and chases after her. Squall tells Sora that he will be accompanying him as his bodyguard, despite the fact Sora has the Kingdom Key on him. Riku also tells Sora that he will join him as he wants the Heartless to pay for what they've done to their home. So with that, Squall runs up to the window and jumps to it like a badass like he did in the original. And Sora and Riku follow Squall behind, and of course Pluto following Sora. Poor Donald. Through gameplay lights, it's basically the same thing where you have to fight off the Heartless in Traverse Town until you reach District 3, but with Riku and Leon as your party members as of now to fight them back, too. How Riku fights the Heartless without even obtaining the Soul Eater Keyblade? Let's just say Riku fights them back with his fists, since neither he or Sora know about the spells for their Keyblades just yet. Once they got through all the Heartless appearing in Traverse Town, Sora, Riku, Pluto, and Squall made it to District 3, seeing that no Heartless has appeared there just yet. As they enter the 3rd district of Traverse Town, up above is where Donald, Goofy, and Jimmy are shown as they left the whole town as soon as possible. But soon the Heartless suddenly appeared and attacked them, knocking Donald and Goofy off the railing and landing on Sora. Once they recover from the dizziness of that funny moment, Donald and Goofy immediately notices that Sora has the Kingdom Key, meaning he is the Keyblade wielder they were looking for. Before they can settle things, the ground starts to violently shake, and boulder pillars suddenly appear out of the ground, blocking out Riku and Squall from Sora, and the Heartless appear on the boulder pillars and start attacking Sora, Donald, and Goofy, which is played as usual from the original. Once all of the Heartless are defeated, the boulder pillars vanish, and Riku runs up to Sora. Pluto also runs up to Donald and Goofy, and the two of them are surprised that they didn't notice that Pluto didn't catch up to them this whole time. Before anyone can say anything, they all heard a wicked cackling laugh, and they all turn to see some witch in a black robe and has horns on her head, which we all know is Maleficent. This witch tells them all that they have no chance of defeating the Heartless, and soon darkness shall conquer all worlds. Sora asks this witch who she is, but she doesn't answer Sora's question as she tells Sora that he will not save all the world from darkness, and also from the Seeker of Darkness himself. Sora asks the witch who the Seeker of Darkness is, but again she refuses to answer his question. She soon raises her staff up, and it glows in a shadowy purple light. Suddenly, a giant armor Heartless appears from above, which we all know is called the Guard Armor, and its arms and legs and head are attached to its body. The witch commands the armored Heartless to attack Sora, Donald, and Goofy as she vanishes from thin air, so they have no choice but to defeat this armored Heartless with the help of Riku and Squall. After defeating the Guard Armor, the scene pretty much stays the same, with Donald and Goofy asking Sora to come with them to travel to different worlds so they won't fall into darkness, and Sora wondering if he can find Kairi in one of those worlds, which they reassure that she'll be there in one of them, and that he can join if he can make a happy face, which leads to this scene here.
That's one funny face.
So, Sora agrees to join Donald and Goofy on their journey. However, Riku disagrees with the decision. which confuses Sora and wonders why Riku doesn't want him to join Don and Goofy. Riku tells Sora that they don't even know them and he's willing to join them just because he is destined to save all the worlds from darkness. Plus, those two don't even know Kylie like he and Sora do. And Riku also added they could be working for those Heartless or that witch that summoned the guard armor that attacked them. Donna counters this, as if they were working for a witch like her, she wouldn't have used the guard armor to attack him and Goofy. Riku thinks that he and Goofy were just acting in danger. Sora stops this argument and tries to reason with Riku that they can trust them. Riku asks Sora if he's really abandoning him and Kairi for these two strangers. Sora tells Riku that he is not abandoning them for Donna and Goofy. Plus, he wants to find Kairi as much as Riku does. Riku clearly thinks Sora doesn't care at all, so he just angrily tells Sora that he hopes he has fun with his new friends and walks away in anger. Sora is clearly upset by this. He and Riku never had fights at all. Sure, they usually have arguments and they settle things off as sword fighting when they were kids to cool themselves off and apologize with each other, but this is the first argument where they don't even apologize at all. Donna reassures Sora that Riku will come around and understands his decision. Sora is quiet for a bit, but smiles that he hopes so and is glad to join the team.
Name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
All for one, one for all.
Meanwhile, Riku wanders around Traverse Town, still mad that Sora would go with those two strangers instead of his best friend to search for Kairi. Why would Sora choose them over him? Suddenly, a voice chimes in saying that the chosen wielder of the Kingdom Key prefers to save all of the worlds instead of friendship. Riku turns and sees a man in a cloak, so he's in a battle stance, ready to fight this mysterious man. The man in the cloak eases Riku that he means no harm, and that he is here to see Riku, knowing he is frustrated with Sora. Riku calms down a bit and asks the mysterious cloakman why he approaches him. The mysterious cloakman tells Riku that he sees potential in the 15-year-old, and also tells him that Riku doesn't need Sora to find his friend, and that he will help Riku train him to be strong, and to help him find his friend without Sora. Riku is reluctant about this mysterious cloakman, but since Sora decided to help these strangers out instead of him, he agrees to join him, then asks him for his name. The mysterious cloakman introduces himself as Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. And that's where we leave things for right now. So, what do you guys think about this part? How do you all feel about Riku landing in Traverse Town instead of Hollow Bastion? How do you feel about Waka, Selphie, and Tias being in Traverse Town as well instead of being swollen into darkness when the Destiny Islands was also swallowed by darkness when the Heartless came? How do you feel about Tifa and Renata appearing in this reline instead of the foreigner appearing in Kingdom Hearts 2 while the latter didn't? And how do you feel about Pluto sticking around with Sora instead of running off to who knows where before reappearing again in the post-credits? Hopefully I will do part 3 whenever I feel like it. So for now, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.